Thank you for joining today's conversation. Today, we are talking about the 3 steps to attract high paying clients as a coach through podcasting. So, I am excited because I know that you're here as someone who has years of experience in the coaching industry, and you're at a place where honestly, you're a little lucky. Okay. Because you have been growing your business effectively through referrals. And people are constantly referring people to you. You have a really deep network, but you're noticing that things are getting a little slow through this process, right? And so you're noticing things are slowing down and you're trying to figure out, man, what in the world can I do to be able to put a little gas, okay? Put my foot on the gas a little bit. And so you're looking into how to use online marketing as a way to put some gas into your business to speed things up. And so you're reaching that point where you are looking to grow at a faster pace. And I want to celebrate you for that. I want to celebrate the success that you've had so far. And I want to celebrate this season where you're realizing there are so many more people who need you and you're ready to put yourself out there, you and your business out there in a way to reel them in. So let's talk about how you do that. Because I know, and one of the things you've been struggling with is social media. And honestly, I'm right there with you. I know that sometimes it can feel like social media is one of those just places where people are scrolling mindlessly and they're really there for some quick entertainment. And they may not be as many serious buyers out there on social media. And I get it. I get because sometimes it feels like it's really about who can be the most interesting and entertaining rather than truly being about adding value. And you're not really in a place where you want to be trying to compete for attention. You are just here wanting to add value. You know that what you do transforms and change lives. You know that what you do is something that people need because you've already helped so many people. And so you're looking for a way to seriously market and promote your business without the games and gimmicks of social media. I get it. And so let's talk about what options are available for you. So I want to talk about the importance of being found through a search engine, right? And when I say search engine, I mean like a platform like Google, where people treat Google like it's God, like it's omniscient. Like Google can answer all of my questions. We go to it with everything. We be like, Google, I have this spot on my back. Should I be worried? Or is it just a mole? Like we literally ask Google everything. It's hilarious. It may be a little scary. But here's the thing. As a business owner, the fact that people so heavily rely on Google to answer questions they have can serve you if you use it strategically. So let's talk about how do you leverage Google to be found by more of your ideal clients and not just people who are interested in your services, but people who are willing to invest in a solution because they're serious about solving the struggle that they are currently experiencing in this season of their life. Those are your people. And here's why Google is a really great resource is because literally it processes over 99,000 searches every second and 8.5 billion searches daily. People are literally every single second asking Google a question. And what Google is doing is scouring the internet for resources that match the search that people are asking about. And so, what you want is for the resources that you have, i.e., your podcast, to pop up as a recommended resource to solve and answer the questions that people have, right? And so, we want to talk about how do you actually go about making sure that your podcast is found in that search process. So, here's what's amazing about podcasting and why I'm such a big advocate for it is that podcast episodes can show up on Google as a recommended resource, right? And also, I would add as an extra bonus boost, if you repurpose the video from your podcast onto YouTube, baby, you get double for your trouble. We all know how much work it goes into creating content. And so you might as well get the biggest bang for your buck, which is why, yes, I am a huge proponent of businesses having video podcasts, because again, you get more bang for your buck in terms of you being able to repurpose it. So definitely a big score there. But let's talk about what kind of content that you can create to be sure or increase the likelihood and odds that your content actually shows up in that search. So one of the things that I encourage clients to do is to really do some market research on the current clients that they have served. Sometimes we're so busy doing for our people, doing for our tribe and our community, that we're not always as intentional about reflecting on what brought them to us in the first place. I know I've definitely been in seasons where I've been guilty of that. So busy helping people, man. But here's the beautiful thing about the work that we do, especially in the coaching space, is that you literally get to have so many conversations that can be converted into content. And so let's talk about how we can leverage our conversations to create content that can be used on your podcast. So one, any DMs that you get, I know them things are annoying because there's so many in your inbox. But those DM questions are actually really great content. Also, your discovery calls are incredible content. And no, I'm not saying you're recording your discovery calls and then posting them online. I'm saying that you are listening to what people are asking you about and for, right? How does your current community describe their struggle? What are their top questions? Because you probably at this point are seeing some trends around what people are asking. You're probably seeing some trends around what people are asking at this point in your years of experience. And so I want you to write out those top 5 questions, and those are 5 episodes. Because again, remember, people are finding your podcast sometimes through Google searches. And so they're going with a specific question, and then Google is saying, hey, here's the answers that I have found via resources like podcasts. And so we make our podcast episodes incredibly targeted, answering one question per episode. We often find that it reaches the right people quicker. One of the big mistakes that a lot of people make when they start a podcast is they are so busy trying to abide by the rules of social media and be entertaining and interesting that they end up really missing the mark in terms of being clear about what they do, right? So you don't need your podcast episodes to have some really super out there name. Like it literally can be how to, the top 3 strategies to, 3-step process to, because again, you want to label it based off what people are actually asking, because that's how they're talking to Google. They're talking to Google like they're talking to you in your DMs and on the discovery calls. They're using those same language and words. And so again, it increases your likelihood of being pushed forth as a resource that can answer and serve that person when they're going to Google with their questions. So now you see how podcast episodes can allow you to be able to attract more potential clients by promoting your episodes as resources to answer their specific questions. And here's why I pose this as a way to be able to attract high ticket clients who are actually interested in your services, is because they're coming to Google with a specific question, which means they're actively searching for a solution. And now your job is to build trust as the source to be able to solve that problem. And so you do that through consistency, one, but also through making sure that you're developing a real relationship with them. So I would encourage you to make sure that you've plugged in resources to your podcast episodes, so that way they have a next step to take. Kind of like on these videos, how every time at the end, I encourage you to check out my comments below, the caption below, to be able to register for my Plan Your Podcast workshop, which by the way is coming up soon. So go ahead and grab your receipt for that. But that's my way of staying connected to you, right? Sometimes we take a passive approach to marketing, and then we wonder why it's not working. But we have to be very clear with our audience. Here's your next step. If you are struggling with this, if you found value in this, this is your next step. And so you want to make sure that you have defined the relationship. Okay, DTR, define the relationship. And you are not defining it as just like, I'm a podcast host. You're like, I may have a podcast, but I am also a coach who helps you in your health and wellness. I am also a coach who is a business, I'm a business coach. Be very clear about what kind of relationship you want to have with your community and say that. right? Let them know that you have workshops and programs and resources that you would love for them to connect with so that they can get more connected to you. Make the ask, extend an invitation. That is a really important process of being able to attract clients through podcasting. Okay. And people are excited to pay you when you have actually solved a problem for them, which is why, again, I recommend that you make sure that each episode is an answer to one question that your audience is actively asking you. Because when you give them that small win and they know that they can trust you to be able to walk with them on the next part of their journey, the next question that they have, then now they're willing to pay you high ticket prices because they know that you get them results. You see how that works? So today we've talked about how you can leverage podcasting to be able to attract high ticket clients, and how you can actually decide what content to push on your podcast based off the questions that you're getting in your inbox now. So if you are ready to start your podcast and you are serious about getting it done, and that you know that this is more than just a hobby for you, but it's a way for you to grow your coaching business, and you want to be able to attract clients through your podcast, I would encourage you to check out the link below and register for my Plan Your Podcast workshop. It's coming up soon. And in that workshop, you'll be able to get clarity on how you can use my framework for attracting clients and growing in your audience through your podcast. So look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much for hanging out. And until next time, because I'm going to be back.